have another special guest joining us. This one, really cool. I'm really excited to talk to him. I want to bring on Josh from Skin Reaper Studio.
Hello. What's everybody doing tonight?
Friend?
Not too much, man. Let's get ready to make some more masks.
Yeah, and that's what I want to talk to you about is your mask, because you got quite a bit, and they don't seem to last long. They almost seem like as soon as you make them, they're pretty much gone.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I have them up there, but when people come in, I make them right when they want them, so they're not stationary. They don't say this is my personal collection. So everybody, if they order a mask, I make it, right within the same time frame that they ordered it. So they're all fresh.
Now, when you go to MHC or Transworld or even Fear Expo and stuff, you could throw a stick in there and you can find somebody making a mask, and some great masks too. I mean, there's a lot of great mask makers out there, fantastic mask makers. But I've always noticed, like with yours, and I think you and I talked about this a little bit back in April at Fear Expo, you have very unique style masks. Like, you don't just have a scarecrow mask. Like, there's something unique about it. There was one I just saw today. I don't know if Chris can bring up your Facebook page and I can point it out to you. But I'll try to describe it.
How about the scarecrow creature, the one I just finished up?
Yes, that's the one. I was just looking at that today. And, with the burlap sack type mask, this one's extremely unique. I was wondering if you can kind of talk to us about it.
Well, it was kind of like I sculpted this mask and I thought, well, it's a scarecrow mask. I like it, but it needs something more, So I put some straw coming out the top and I said, no, that's not quite it. What does it need? What is something different? And I want to sculpt. I'm getting ready to sculpt a creature. Okay. So I thought, well, why don't I just add some tentacles to this and see what happens, So I threw on the tentacles and it just kind of came together, So it became a creature that's living inside the scarecrow that maybe escaped from a lab, let's say, and found its way, saw that scarecrow and said, I'm going to get up inside that scarecrow and let that be my camouflage, So birds land on him and he can reach up there and grab those birds with his tentacles and eat, whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and there he is. There's a monster inside the mask, or inside the creature.
It's funny because it shouldn't work. Like you take tentacles and, like the burlap idea, and it shouldn't work, but it does. Like,
no. It does work. Yeah,
like you made it work extremely well, and it's so unique and it's incredible. Like I love it. It's amazing. But you have a lot of unique masks. Like you got your Yeti mask. Yeah, you got your mummy mask. Yeah, there's your Predator mask is incredible. But what's your favorite mask?
Oh, it's hard to pick, man. I think the stuff I'm doing now is better than the stuff I did early on, So, I like Slippery Sam quite a bit, and I like the new Scarecrow, like the Scarecrow creature, I just do, they're probably my favorites. Even the original Scarecrow, I like him too. Where's he at? There he is. I like him too. He's a unique character in a sense, I like them all, man. I do. I like them all.
Well, tell us about your creative process.
It's really just sometimes it's just sitting down at the desk with blank armature and clay. It's just that simple. You can sit and you can draw pictures out, or you can look for reference. You can comb the internet trying to find reference and piece things together in your head. But sometimes it's just as simple as I sit down at the desk with a blank armature and clay and my tools, and I just sit back and breathe for a minute, and then just start throwing clay on. Like I could have no idea whatsoever that what I'm going to sculpt, but I'll start throwing clay on, and it just kind of happens, you know. Sometimes it is strictly from reference. If someone says to me, Josh, I want you to sculpt this character, can you sculpt it? I say, okay, give me as much reference as you can give me, you know, pictures wise. If you have someone who draws, let them draw out the pictures from different angles, from profile to straight on to the backside, everything you can get. And then I'll take those pictures and I'll line them up, and I'll use them while I'm sculpting. And it's, in a lot of ways, that's a much faster process if you have good reference, you know, and then you can kind of piece things together from there. But that's pretty much it, man. You know, it's, if like I've got like the character I want to sculpt now, I'm not going to go into depth because I don't even want to post that online either until I'm done with it. But the character, it's I've got some pictures that were drawn, and my dad, he draws a lot. So I got some pictures from him that he drew of a character, and he just plopped it in front of me and said, hey, Josh, can you might want to think about sculpting something like this. What do you think? So I'm probably going to do it. I'm going to add my own flair to the character, and it's going to look pretty cool when I'm done. So, but I'm not going to post anything about it till I'm finished with it. But yeah, photo reference is good. Illustration is good. Even just, you know, if someone says to me, I kind of want this idea, you know, but I want you to go ahead and freely just do what you see, you know, that works good too. So it's pretty much a process, you know.
I haven't got one yet. But I have a question. So
yeah,
how did you get into like making masks and learning how to do it?
Well, you know, I wanted to, when I was a kid, I wanted to do it. And it was one of those things I used to watch, what was it called? It was a show, it was on Discovery Channel. Movie Magic was the show. And I watched that, and it covered a wide range of different film work. Okay. So it was, if you're a camera person, they had like one day it'd be all about camera work. Another day it was on, it'd be about maybe makeup effects. And they just covered that for the whole show. And then the next show might be stunt doubles, things like that, you know. But they when they covered the film effects work, so like the special effects, behind the scenes stuff. So they'd build these little figures or little cities, little towns or suburbs and things like that. All that stuff really interested me. So it wasn't just one specific genre or element of film work that interested me. It was the whole special effects spectrum, I guess. So that, when I was a kid, is what really interested me into it. Now I started watching behind the scenes. I used to watch I had a VHS of Dream Warriors, one of the Freddy films, and they had like a Chest of Souls and stuff like that were going on. And I loved watching how they did that with a big sheet of latex, and they're pushing themselves through that latex, and they're coming out, you know, and the soul's pushing through. You know, it was pretty cool. So I love that kind of stuff. And I got laid off from a job in 09 or 08, like for Christmas. So I said, I'm going to start getting myself into what I want originally, you know, when I was a kid. And I just started sculpting. Every month I was sculpting something new, and it wasn't great. I'll be honest, you know, great. But as time progressed, you know, I started getting a little better, and had some time where I didn't do anything at all, just because the circumstances weren't right, and I was working outside a lot, trying to do all this artwork outside, and it just didn't work out. You know, you get things falling out of the trees into your molding material, or just you're dealing with the weather. It's warm during the day and then it cools off at night and you're still making a mold. Well, the mold now wants to crack because it's heating up and it's got cool air on it, so there's all these different elements of things that were interfering in the process. So I kind of, out of frustration, said, well, okay, I'm done with that for a while. And when 2018 came, I was working pretty steadily, and I decided I'm going to build this little studio that I can work in and start making things happen as much as I can. So I started building that. And in 2019, October, I got it finished. So, well, maybe it was November when I got it finished up. And by 2020, January 2020, I was starting to make things like make little shrunken heads and get back into that again. And I just kind of developed to where I'm at now, with the making these masks and stuff. So it's, for me, mask making is a step. It's a stepping stone. It's not the final stage. There's masks, then there's makeups you can make, and there's prosthetics you can make, and there's just everything. It's such a big arena, special effects in itself. So that's kind of what got me started and where I'm at now.
Another question I got is from Keith, and it says, who are Josh's biggest mask making influences?
Oh man, I started when I first started sculpting. I had one video, and it was by Mark Alfrey, and it was sculpting the human head. And his work is still, it's amazing work. I'm not even sure if he even still sells that video, sculpting the human head, or he had a couple different ones too, like maquette sculpting. I think he had. I think I've got that one somewhere. But yeah, Mark Alfrey was a big influence in the very beginning for me. Jordy Rochelle, he's a fantastic sculptor. Donald Lanning, Casey Love, he's a great sculptor too. Golly, there's so many of them.
All righty. And then Willie Mae just asked, would you ever make a replica of a horror icon? So basically, would you do any custom work for somebody?
I think I would, yeah. I just got done making a 3-eyed demon for Doomsday's Crypt. So that's something we're going to be doing too.
Chris, you got to find that. It's on his Facebook page. You got to bring that up, that 3-eyed demon. I saw that. That's a really cool one. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, John. I had to jump in.
Yeah, we just got done with that. We're going to be doing some more of those and some different characters that are a big influence in that group too. So that's coming between maybe later this year, 2024. But
all right.
Now, at this past Fear Expo, you taught a class. And Willie Mae wants to know what your experience was like teaching that class. So what did you teach, and what was it like? My goal, was to do kind of like an introductory to sculpting, basically, and kind of show or explain my techniques with different things. And, it went okay. It was the first class I taught. I remember in high school, I used to do public speaking, and I always, I had a hard time in the class, but I'd ace that portion of it, And so whether it be like debates or just giving presentations, I did a good job with it then. Now it's a different story. It's been a long time since I've done that. So it was a different experience. I was nervous, it happens, but I think the more I do it, the better off, more comfortable I get with it, Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people have a lot to learn off of someone with your types of talents. And I mean, not just in the sculpting and in mask making realm, but in the creative side as well. I mean, you have a lot to offer.
Yeah. Thank you.
I just saw a question that popped up.
It was from Brianna. She said, Josh, what is your number one goal to accomplish by sculpting masks?
my number one goal is, as I kind of alluded to, is that it's a stepping stone. It's a stage in the process for me for where I want to be. I want to be working in film work, and whether it be working with silicones and making prosthetic makeups, or making prop limbs, or any of that. My goal is to be working in a studio, even if I start out at an entry level position, and kind of gradually work my way up in that, working with a group of people that are highly talented people. And for me, I want to be able to take what I've got and grow from that. It's hard for me to teach people. It just is. I don't know why it is, but it's always, if I say something wrong, or give the wrong advice or something like that, I don't want to be the responsible for a bad result, so to speak. So I'd rather be the one being taught in some ways, but I want to be in a film environment. I do. So that's kind of the goal. Like, working in a film studio.
Right. And then I got this question. Will you be teaching another class next year?
I think so. I think we're talking about that a little bit. So,
And then
I think it'll go better next year.
it'd be more comfortable.
Yeah.
And then earlier I got the question of, I think it was, I'm trying to find it. I was trying to remember it off the top of my head, but that did not work. I think it was, do you do this like as a full-time job? I think that was what the question was.
I am right now. Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
But yeah, he can't keep them on the shelves. I mean, they're going like crazy. So are you still taking orders for this year?
I'm still taking orders. Yeah. Yep. I have my Etsy site up.
Do you know what
I have my Etsy site up. 2 weeks, about sometimes 3. During the show, I had it at 6 to 8 weeks, I think. After Fear Expo, about 6 to 8 weeks to get things done. But now I'm back to a level position. So if it's 1 to 2 weeks at the most, I think I put 3 for the new Scarecrow. I put 3 weeks, but it's 1 to 2. Sometimes even a little sooner than that, I can get it out.
Willie wants to know if you're ever going to do clowns.
I sculpted a small clown figure. I don't have it out here, but yeah, it's a small little clown figure. I want to do a resin cast of it. But yeah, I'm late at some point. Do clowns,
Well, you mentioned your Etsy store. So tell us where we can find Skin Reaper Studios, all out on the interwebs, and any shows you got coming up and everything like that.
Okay, well, if you go to www.skinreaperstudios.etsy.com, that's my Etsy shop, and you can find everything. Most of what I've got up here, I've got on that site. I don't have the Shock Monster up there yet, but I need to find a place where I can get those little wigs, and then I'll pop him back up there. But everything else you can find there. But yeah.
And then on Facebook, of course.
Yep. I have the Skin Reaper Studios Facebook page. You might be able to contact me there. I'm not sure if the messenger is working on there, but if you look at something on there that you like, message on it, and I'll see that message. Be able to respond to you that way.
And do you have any upcoming shows?
Not right off the top. No, not right off the top.
You going to HauntCon?
I don't believe so. No.
You going to Fear Expo? Fear Expo?
Yeah, I go to Fear Expo.
Nice. See you again there at Fear Expo. Well, Josh, it's getting late. I don't want to keep you up all night because I know you got masks to make. So everybody head on over to Skin Reaper Studios, get your masks in. You heard it here, 2 to 3 weeks lead time, so you have plenty of time to get your masks your mask orders in and shipped out to you for your haunt in time for haunt season. We all know it's coming. So get it done. Get it done now. Josh, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for being a part of Fear Expo and teaching your class. I hope you teach another class. Like I said, people got a lot to learn from a guy like you. So thank you so much. And I will see you in April.
April? All right. Well, thank you guys. It was a great pleasure being on the show again tonight.
Have a good one, my friend. Okay. So now we gotta point at this one together.
Which one?
I think we're on that one. We got to deal with Willie May now, because if